This video session is for ECE 71 Wireless and Mobile Communication Laboratory 7th semester of Electronics and Communication Department. This video lecture is for the Introduction to Scientech 211 CDMA Technique Kit. So, Scientech 2115 CDMA Technique Trainer Kit composed of all these listed major components. Audio signal generator, which is able to generate signal from 0 to 3.4 kilohertz. And then we have a binary data generator. We have a PN sequence generator. So from the three stages, I can say that this audio signal generator is used to generate audio, that is analog inputs for your trainer kit, and binary data generator delivers digital data for the trainer kit. And this PN sequence generator, PN sequence means pseudo noise sequence generator or pseudo random sequence generator, which is used to convert the narrowband signal which is generated by either audio signal generator or binary data generator to a wider band. The concept behind CDMA technique is, in CDMA, we may have transmitter and receiver unit. Both transmitter and receiver are using a commonly generated PN sequence, which is used for coding the information, and it prevents the third-party intrusion between the communication system. To get the basic idea, the audio signal generator generates audio signal, and this particular audio signal is once again converted to digital pattern with the help of pulse width modulator. So this pulse width modulator helps us to represent analog signals in form of digital. So there are two ways of giving input to the trainer kit, either through audio signal generator or through binary data generator. If you choose binary data generator, directly you can give it to a direct sequence spread spectrum generator. If you are choosing analog signal generator as input mode, then you have to use pulse width modulator to represent your analog signal in form of digital data. Then this signal can be fed to direct sequence spread spectrum generator. So the main processing unit or the main functioning unit is the direct sequence spread spectrum generator, which accepts two different input. One is either of analog or binary data, and another input is PN sequence generated data. The binary data, for our explanation, let me consider we are providing input from binary data generator. This binary data are narrowband in nature, that is, it has a limited frequencies. Once it is treated with PN sequence generator, this narrowband signals will be converted to wider band so that the crypting of data happens here. And since it is an modulation, this CDMA technique is Scientech 211 trainer kit is a modulator and demodulating process explained by its nature. We use binary phase shift keying modulator for modulation purpose, and at the receiver end we make use of binary phase shift keying demodulator. So this 2115 trainer kit composed of the 6 main units: audio signal generator, binary data generator, PN sequence generator, direct spread spectrum generator, binary phase shift keying modulator and demodulator, and pulse width modulator and demodulator. So it is very easy to understand. So here self-contained and easy to use, because as a student, if you have a look at the trainer kit, you can explicitly say that I'm going to connect from this point to this point. This kit is totally self-explanatory, and it has a functional block indicating on the board mimic. That is, once you open the trainer kit, you can see the all functional explanation on the front end of the trainer kit. And it has a direct spread spectrum generator and a decoder, as I said in the previous slide. Analog modulator makes use of binary phase shift keying modulator and pulse width modulator, and analog demodulator makes use of binary phase shift keying modulator and pulse width demodulator. So once we get into the exact experiment explanation, you can come to know that how this modulation and demodulation techniques work. Now, the technical specification will help us to understand what is the power flow inside the trainer kit and what are the speciality of input and output we can obtain. The first technical specification is power supply requirement. It requires 230 volt AC, 50 Hz direct AC supply, and inboard DC regulated power supply is available. So depending upon the trainer kit requirement, either 5 volt DC or 12 volt DC is going to flow through the board. Onboard digital data signal generator to generate any data input, word length of 8-bit, which means my binary data generator is going to generate 8-bit data length, binary data, in data rate of 15 kilobytes per second, and data format NRZ. This is called as a type of line coding, non-written to zero format. So when I say non-written to zero format, it is like unipolar data. It is like a unipolar data, and we have a onboard pseudo random bit signal generator. We call it as PN sequence generator, and again it is a 8-bit per data bit. Onboard analog signal generator, it means you can vary this frequency from 0 to 3.4 kilohertz, and a carrier wave which is used for binary phase shift keying modulator is a fixed oscillator frequency of 1.44 megahertz. This is the feature of CDMA technique, because we are discussing about CDMA technique, code division multiple access. When I say multiple access, it is granting permission for n number of receivers to access the data from the transmitter provided with unique code. So, in case if I have 3 receivers, all 3 receivers can access a single transmitter without any time constraint or frequency constraint, provided all the receivers are provided with the unique code. This is a basic understanding of code division multiple access. Narrowband message signal multiplied by wideband spreading signal. Wideband spreading signal is nothing but your pseudo noise code. So this is the concept behind the CDMA technique. Each user has his own pseudo noise code. So soft capacity limit is called as system performance degrades for all users as number of users increases. The previous multiple access techniques are time division multiple access and frequency division multiple access. When I say time division multiple access, we come to know that a single transmitter can be accessed by n number of users having time as a constraint. So on particular time, user 1 can access the transmitter. Particular time T2, user 2 can access the transmitter data. So what happens? The user are predefined with the time limit and they can't access the transmitter apart from the time provided to them. And the next scheme is frequency division multiple access, where frequency is frequency of the transmitter. The transmitter has a bandwidth, and bandwidth is splitted into frequencies depend upon the user. N number of frequencies will be assigned, and each user through that frequency can access the transmitter, but apart from this band they can't use the data. So the whole utilization of transmitter is not possible in FDMA technique. So that is called a soft capacity limit, which means when the system performance, which means the transmitter ability degrades as all users are trying to access the transmitter. So this particular CDMA concept is used in cell phone communication. So frequency reuse, no frequency planning needed, and soft handoff increasing capacity. Handoff means when you transfer from one mobile tower to another mobile tower, if you use CDMA, it will be very smooth, and near far problems can be limited, interference can be limited, wide bandwidth includes diversity. So there will be no traffic between the users. Since our bandwidth is very wider, all users will find their own space. So this gives a benefit of reducing the congestion between the data and extended battery life because of effective power control. These are the salient features of CDMA technique. Now, how this spread spectrum communication works. So as you see here, we have an information sequence, which is nothing but binary data generator, and it is given to a channel encoder and all sort of data header, footer, for error control measures are taken in channel encoding techniques, and it is given to a modulator. This modulator is provided with this pseudo-random pattern generator, and this is given to the channel. At the receiving end, without this pseudo-random pattern, it is highly impossible for us to recover back our original information. In this way, the spread spectrum communication ensured secure communication between transmitter and the authorized receivers with the pseudo-random code. Finally, here are the examples, or here are the depiction of your PN sequence. You can see here this PN sequence is a wideband data, and this is your original message, which is a narrowband data, and the product signal will be more explicit. You can see that it will be more as like I will show you in the experiment, and this is what we are going to generate the PN sequence. We are going to have the shift registers, and we are going to select the length of this shift register. Okay, so this is the basic introduction about the kit, and for detailed explanation we can discuss this with the help of the experiment video.